We're going in depth right now. A major issue that could be in front of the Senate next session, South Carolina's congressional map. Calls to redraw districts are growing louder across the country. And right now, the issue is in the hands of the Supreme Court. Justices heard oral arguments yesterday in a major case that centers around the Voting Rights Act of 1965. It's out of Louisiana and is based on the creation of a second black majority district in the state. Now, the ruling could have nationwide implications, with congressional districts being redrawn across the nation to favor a certain political party. Right now, North Carolina Republicans say they do plan to redraw the state's congressional map. It comes in response to President Trump's call to secure more GOP seats nationwide, especially ahead of the 2026 midterms. Democratic Governor Josh Stein has already said he plans to fight that push from Republicans. In South Carolina, calls to do the same are growing, especially when it comes to the state's only Democratic district. Congressman Jim Clyburn holds that seat in District 6. Now, many Republicans say the map is drawn to favor Clyburn, and they think it needs to change to be more fair. That includes candidates currently running for governor. Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evitts' campaign sent us a statement that reads in part, quote, "The people, not politicians, should decide who represents them. As governor, Pamela Evitts will lead the fight to secure fair redistricting, close our primaries, and give South Carolinians the voice they deserve in choosing their leaders." Now, another candidate, Congressman Ralph Norman, also making a push for redrawing the map. He's even called on state lawmakers to hold a special session in order to redraw the 6th congressional district.
It's discrimination the way the lines are drawn. Not only do you have to be a land surveyor to know what precinct you go to. I mean, it's a jigsaw puzzle that obviously is discrimination. The right thing to do is draw it fairly, get it so that people are represented and have a choice. They have not had a choice for a long time.
Now, Norman is calling on the Freedom Caucus to lead this fight at the State House, and Representative Jordan Pace from Berkeley County is the chair of the caucus. He plans to introduce a bill at the beginning of session in January, and we sat down with him today for more. Representative Pace, thank you so much for taking some time with us. Focusing on redistricting here, we hear often, especially from Freedom Caucus members and the Congressman Ralph Norman, saying that you want to draw the map so that it's, quote, fair. What is fair when it comes to congressional districts, and how you define fair when it comes to this concept?
Yeah, there's two things. It's a two-part answer. First, what's fair is not drawing a congressional district so that one individual can be protected at all costs, and that's what's happened in the 6th district with Jim Clyburn. They drew the map to protect him first and foremost, and to protect the Democrat holding that seat secondarily. But the other thing that's fair, that should be fair, is to give a Republican a fair shot at winning that district. So the mentality isn't, we need to move things around to make the 6th district a solid slam dunk Republican, easy win. We just want to make it competitive so that a Republican can stand a shot.
I think for so long there have been a lot of concerns about gerrymandering and kind of these different districts that take on all these different kinds of shapes. Have we gotten to the point where a lot of lawmakers are now saying the quiet part out loud when it comes to trying to maneuver some of these districts? And how can we get past that to make sure that that is as fair as possible?
Well, the reality of gerrymandering is that there's always been gerrymandering, and there always will be. It's just a matter of who does it, and if we do it in a way that aligns with the values of the populace. South Carolina has spoken pretty regularly for the last 30 years that they want Republicans in control of this, and specifically they want conservatives in control of state government. So I don't think there's anything wrong with drawing these congressional districts in a way to reflect that. Not, like I said, not to make the 6th district a slam dunk and just hand it to a Republican, but to make it competitive.
So what does the future hold? If this were to take shape, depending on the ruling from the Supreme Court, if Republicans, if you're able to redraw the map here in South Carolina, other red states do the same, blue states do the same, are we just going to be in this constant cycle of going back and forth of redrawing these maps?
Well, we always have been, but in this particular case, it's accounting for the intentional miscalculations of the last census. It's righting that wrong, where the last census way overcounted, I would argue intentionally, the illegal aliens and folks like that frankly shouldn't be counted toward congressional accounting, like toward these congressional maps. So this, not only in South Carolina, but in other states that have been talking about this, in Texas, in Florida, even in North Carolina, like we're trying to fix those intentional or not mistakes from the census data to make things, like you said, more fair.
Okay. Representative Pace, thank you so much for your time. We'll be looking for your bill and that ruling from the Supreme Court. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Now, in response to this nationwide debate, Congressman Clyburn has taken to social media saying, quote, "Make no mistake, Democrats support eliminating partisan gerrymandering nationwide and have passed legislation in the House that would do so. We believe in fundamental fairness. That's not what Republicans want. They want absolutism."